All right, folks, welcome back. We are going to be changing our game now to add in some automated movement, some kind of like ball or something that's going to bounce around inside of the screen. You can imagine that these players will be vying for attacking that ball to bounce it around. It might also be, something like a zombie that we're trying to dodge or avoid. Could be all sorts of different possible things. But we want it to automatically move around in the screen. So that's our goal. So to start off with, I'm going to add in some variables to represent our ball. So we'll pop those in. Okay, here they are. So we have just an x and y coordinate for the ball, as well as a diameter. And we have our velocity as well. These are variables that will represent the speed and direction. Vx and Vy are the velocity in the horizontal and in the vertical direction. They kind of act like a rise and run for the slope of the line along which your ball will travel. Okay, next we have to give these variables some values. So in the setup, I figure we'll make the ball start in the center of the screen. And so I'm just going to set up those values like so. I gave it a diameter that's a little bit smaller than the players. And these are my this default velocity. So we'll talk about what these values should be a little bit more later on. All right, so now that we have the variables set up, let's go and actually put a visual in for the ball. So I'm going to go down to our draw function, and we have our players here. So I'll throw in just a simple circle for our ball. I'll make it red, I guess. And we have its coordinates, its diameter ready to go. So let's see what that looks like. Hey, there it is. So good. Oh, but it doesn't move at all. Okay, so we actually now have to start giving that velocity some meaning. I'm going to show you one of the most famous lines of code in all of video game history. It's inside of Pac-Man or inside of the Pong ball. It's even inside of characters that are moving around in 3 dimensions. Like Minecraft Steve, here it is. We're just going to change the ball's x coordinate by adding our Vx onto it. And same with ball y. We'll add Vy onto it. And that's what's going to actually make Vx and Vy become a velocity. They're going to be changing the position of the ball by adding their value over and over again onto it. And I think I have some default values. Yeah, 2 and -3. So like 2 will make the x coordinate increase, and -3 for Vy will make the y coordinate decrease, which will produce this movement. And we can see it's flying up into the air. Well, now it's flown off of the screen. So we would like to keep that ball kind of contained inside of the screen. So the last thing to do is we're going to make it bounce. Actually, I think before we do that, let's talk a bit more about these values just to make sure everybody is on the same page. I'm going to change these values a bit, and this will be a little interactive exercise for you. This will be kind of thing that might show up on a quiz later on, or just the kind of thing you kind of need to know as you're moving forward. So I'm going to throw out some values here, and you can just think about what the answer is and test your understanding. So for example, if I was going to put 5 here for our Vy, just imagine right now, and I guess x is 0, Vx, what is that direction? How does that make it move? Go ahead and actually anticipate it. I'm going to run the code and I'll show you what it is. So if you said it's going to move down, awesome. You're getting the idea. What about if I made them both 5? What direction is that going to go in? And you can kind of play this game on your own just to kind of get a good understanding. Did you predict going that way? It makes sense if you think about it, because you're increasing x by 5 and increasing y by 5, so that's the only possible direction. I'd recommend playing with these numbers a little bit, anticipating what the direction will be. Try positives, try negatives, just to see and get an intuitive feel for that. Alternatively, you could just pick a direction you want the ball to go in and see if you can choose numbers that make it go that way. So once you feel comfortable with that, the next step is we have to make it bounce, because right now the ball just flies off the screen and it never comes back. So it'd be nice to get it to collide with the walls and bounce it back. So it turns out that the positive and negative aspect of Vx and Vy is really what controls its direction. So notice that that was +5 this time, and we went the opposite way. So when we're bouncing off of the edges of our screen, that's basically all we need to do is just multiply the right Vx or Vy by -1 to get the ball to flip its direction. So when the ball hits the top or the bottom of the screen, it's Vy that needs to reverse. If it's going down, all of a sudden it needs to go up again. It doesn't change Vx at that point. It's going to continue moving in the direction it was going. And then for the left and right walls, then that's going to be the Vx variable that needs to be multiplied by -1. So let's go take a look. We'll throw that into the draw function. And we'll make a simple kind of bounce type statement. So we can check the ball to see if it's hitting the, let's do the top of the screen first. We could see if it's hitting the top of the screen. We could just check its y coordinate. We could say if it equals, well, we'll say less than or equal to 0. That would be the top. We're going to say less than because depending on the speed of the ball, it might actually skip over 0. So we'll say less than or equal to 0. If that's true, all we got to do is multiply Vx by -1. That's it. That's going to flip. Oh, actually, I lied. It should be Vy, shouldn't it? Ha, I tricked you. So we got Vy times -1. That's going to flip its direction. It's actually the same for the bottom as well. Let me put a little comment here. So if ball y is greater or equal to the height, then it's basically going to be the same thing here. We'll also multiply by -1. That's our bottom collision. Let's see if that works. Oh, I guess it's not going to hit the bottom or top yet. So let's go change our Vy. Maybe I'll make it like so. So let's see when it hits the bottom. There you go. See how it bounces off? And if I made that -5, it'll hit the top of the screen instead and should have a satisfying bounce. Amazing. So last thing to do is make the left and right happen. It's pretty simple, right? If we copy and paste, we can just make this about the x coordinates. And when it hits, well, I guess it won't be height, it'll be width. And it will be Vx instead of Vy. That is changing. So that's going to be top, bottom. This is left, and this is the right side. And I can't help but tidy up my code here. So bear with me. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So those are our bounces that we're making happen. And they should now see it bouncing around. Perfect. Looks good. So now this ball is kind of contained within our playing field, and we're able to sort of keep it on the screen so we can enjoy either chasing it or bouncing it around or of running away from it, whatever our game requires us to do. You'll notice that our paddles or our players or whatever they are do not interact at all with that circle. So we're just watching it bounce around the screen. So that's going to be in our next video. How do you make it so that when they collide with the player, something happens? Maybe you die. Maybe it's a zombie and it catches you. Maybe you bounce it and it goes off and you're trying to score inside of a net. So let's take a look at that in the next video. Thanks, everybody.